I've never smoked in my life, and yet I feel compelled to have to smoke a cigarette. Because what is this news that I was awoken to? George Pickens traded to the Dallas Cowboys? I'm in Texas right now, and I'm considering leaving from Austin. I can see Texas University from here. I might have to go and board a plane, go to Dallas, and try to get Jerry Jones to rescind the trade. What are we doing, bro? We trade away George Pickens for a 3rd, 5th, and 6th round pick after the draft. For what reason? Make it make sense. Now, think about it. The Pittsburgh Steelers over the course of the past 3 years, what has been the one bright spot that we've had? It's been George Pickens on offense. Every single season, our offense has been absolutely abysmal. Then coming into this year, we draft Will Howard. Great, we got ourselves a quarterback. We've got a faulty O-line. We already had very, very minimal pieces. Calvin Austin, for all intents and purposes, is a rotational receiver. He might just mess around and be a 3 receiver, but if you put this man as a number 3 receiver on most other teams, he's probably a 4. We had no offensive identity outside of throw the ball down the field of George Pickens. We get DK Metcalf. Now we think we're going to have the Terror twins. We're going to have the Crash Out twins. Granted, we're going to have questions to be answered regarding maturity, but of course, Mike Tomlin can definitely steer the ship. He was able to control AB. No way he can't control Pickens and DK Metcalf. No, fuck it. Throw it out the goddamn window. Why would we trade away George Pickens after the draft? Why not trade him before, so we could at least maybe go and pick up somebody in the midst of the draft to probably go and make a replacement? Because you already know what Pittsburgh Steelers is. We're wide receiver, factory. It doesn't matter who had been there in the past, whether it had been Plaxico Burress, whether it had been Mike Wallace, whether it had been Antonio Brown, and now George Pickens. We've always been able to move on from what appears to be the star receiver and then have somebody else come up from behind and go and perform. Deontay Johnson as well. I understand. Hey, the trajectory of George Pickens definitely shows him potentially leaving at the end of his rookie contract, because I've mentioned in my videos as well, why would George Pickens feel galvanized to even want to go and re-sign after seeing how the production has been in Pittsburgh? He's been an 1,100-yard receiver. He's been a 1,000-yard receiver with minimal targets, or I shouldn't say minimal, but about 60 to 70 some catches. Imagine if he goes to a team where he's getting targeted like 150 sometimes. This man might mess around and be the first 2,000-yard receiver, but whatever the case just so happens to be, we didn't even attempt on the season to have George there. I just don't understand it, bro. We have zero offensive identity. Just think about our offensive room right now. Will Howard, Skylar Thompson, Mason Rudolph is our quarterback room. Our wide receiver room, albeit we've got DK Metcalf that's there right now. We've got Calvin Austin, who for all intents and purposes, you put him as a 3rd receiver on most teams, he might just mess around and be there as the 4th. Pat Freiermuth, who I still think is very capable for all intents and purposes, he's not a star tight end. We've got a faulty O-line. Our run game, we let Najee Harris go to the Chargers. We've got Jalen Warren, and we just drafted a back. Our offense is pretty much projected to do a whole lot of nothing. And what's been our biggest issue down the stretch to close out the past few seasons? We struggle on offense. We started 10-3. Should have won the doggone division. What do we end up doing? Unable to move the football down the field. Russell Wilson taking ridiculous amounts of sacks. Can't get the ball vertically down the field. We can't do a goddamn thing. We've got this expensive ass motherfucking defense. But if we can't put up points, what's even the purpose, bro? We could have just did a full send on 2025 and then, deal with whatever the fuck comes after in 2026. But oh no, fuck all that. We don't even want to compete, bro. I don't understand what the hell we're doing as this team. And granted, I see the silver lining. We get some picks, whatever the case is, but that's for next year. If we were going to trade George Pickens, why the hell didn't we do it before the goddamn draft? We could have picked up a receiver now. Who the hell what are we going to do next? What are we going to do next? I'm so confused, bro, because what are we doing? 21 years we haven't had a losing season. 18 years under Tomlin, we haven't had a losing season. But every single time it feels as if we're middle of the pack. The last 7 years, 8 some years, we're middle of the pack every single time. If we're going to be bottom feeders, let us be bottom feeders straight out the gate, so we already know what to anticipate coming into the year. Because every single time Pittsburgh wants to project themselves as some team that's able to go and compete, and they're going to knife and claw and find a way to be in the conversation, and then down the stretch we absolutely fold. And I'm telling you something right now. We do not have the pieces to go out there and compete. And I just cannot understand the thought process behind trading away George Pickens after the fucking draft to get picks for next year. We could have did this before the draft. If you wanted to move on from him, should have did it before the draft so we can make the appropriate moves so that we can acquire his replacement ahead of time. So now we got to sit here and bank on next year us going and getting another big play receiver to put alongside DK Metcalf. What the hell are we doing, bro? What are we doing? 7 in the morning, I'm trying to wonder why I'm getting all these goddamn vibrations. Motherfucking bed. You'd have thought I was on one of them those machines in which people is doing a shit ton of cardio, those small trampolines. I'm like, why the fuck am I bouncing on the motherfucking bed? Only to find out that it's George Pickens getting traded away at like fucking 6 a.m. in the morning. I'm compelled to alcoholism, bro. I'm gonna get myself a drink. This is bullshit, bro. I can't. Also, let it be known, we got a 3rd round pick for George Pickens, but we got a 2nd round pick for Chase Claypool. You mean to tell me we couldn't try to fleece Dallas for way more picks than we could? Bro, what are we doing, son? And might I add, if we don't make a move during this offseason to grab a free agent wide receiver, hold on. I'm just getting notification that Gabe Davis is available right now. If Mike Tomlin and Khan ain't on the phone with this man before noon, what are we doing, bro? We need to go and acquire another motherfucking receiver, because I cannot understand why we would let George Pickens go after the draft. Please understand, I'm not super upset that we just traded this man away, but why would we do it after the draft? That's what I'm just not understanding. I can't wrap my mind around that. I just don't know. Because are we trying to compete this year? Are we tanking? You already know I'm not a proponent of tanking. One way or another, we need help, bro. We need help, because this has easily been one of the most frustrating conclusions to a season and off season that I have ever experienced as a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, bro. I just don't understand it, bro. We trade away George Pickens for a 3rd round pick. A 3rd round. I guess the silver lining could be maybe, given he had a bit of immaturity, whether it was when he was in the locker room with Deontay Johnson or when he happened to have Deontay Johnson leave. You still saw minimal effort in the run game. There were many different times in which he wasn't getting the football. All of a sudden, he was very upset. You had miscellaneous flags where there had been offensive pass interference or maybe, unsportsmanlike conduct. Maybe that's a good reason why we ended up getting rid of him. Am I coping right now? 110%. Am I upset about it? 110%. I just need answers, man. I just need answers, bro. I'm trying to be patient with this team, bro. I'm trying to be patient. That was our one bright spot. But fuck it. We'll push forward. We'll push forward. We traded away AB for a 3rd and a 5th. We traded away Deontay Johnson. We traded away Mike Wallace. We traded away Plaxico Burress. Or did he leave in a release? Who gives a fuck, bro? Oh my God. Well, no more Pickensburg. I thought we was pushing P. It was Pickett to Pickens for Pittsburgh. We ain't got no P's left, bro.